Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In today's video, I would like to talk about the key differences between the two popular roles in today's world, which are site reliability engineering and platform engineering. A lot of people are slightly confused with these two roles. They think they are exactly the same or they are kind of similar, which they are, but there are still some key differences between the two roles and what you need to prepare for each of these roles. I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to give you two practical examples of uh, how to identify the differences between the two roles. So I'll start with where I'm working right now. The company that I'm working right now, I'm working as a senior site reliability engineer, but I do have a platform engineering team as well. So if I talk about some differences, so I'll talk about two practical examples. Okay, so the first one is if I talk about the pipeline that we are using. Okay, I've already done one video on this where I've explained all these steps, so you can watch that as well. But in this example, I just want to quote that the pipeline that you are seeing right now. Okay, so a similar kind of pipeline we have in our project as well for all the applications. And if you see the steps that are there right now, all these steps have been developed and configured by the platform team. Okay, so now you will think now what is the job of a site reliability engineers if the platform engineering team are doing this work. Okay, so our work is to get the applications, okay, whatever applications we have, get those applications to use these pipelines successfully. Okay, so what they do, they develop the platform, they build it, they configure it, and then they are going to give a set of steps that all the application teams needs to follow so that their applications are able to use this effectively, because each of these steps have some configuration to be done on the application level as well, I mean on the code level. Okay, so it is the responsibility of site reliability engineer to support all those applications teams so that they are able to use these pipelines to deploy their application code. So that's what we do. Okay, this is one example where the platform team has developed this. So we're using a GitLab SaaS platform, software as a service platform, to deploy this CI/CD pipeline. And yeah, apart from this, the other example that I want to talk about is Grafana. Okay, okay, I don't have any diagram here, but yeah. So in Grafana, whatever Grafana instance we have that is using Prometheus Mimir backend for the data source. So once again, those instances with all their default configurations have been developed and configured by the platform team. And once again, we have a set of steps that we need to follow to make our applications being able to send its metrics to Grafana. Okay, I'm talking about this because earlier we were using Datadog. Recently, we have migrated our application metrics from Datadog to uh, Grafana and Prometheus Mimir. Basically, the metrics have been migrated from Datadog to Prometheus Mimir because that is our main data source which holds the metrics. But for creating dashboards and other types of visualizations, we are using Grafana dashboards basically. Okay, I mean we're using Grafana instance to create all the visualizations on the data that is coming through to its data source in Prometheus Mimir. So once again, the main tool has been developed and configured by the platform team, and the main job of senior SREs or SREs is to ensure that all the application teams are able to use these. Okay, so in terms of metrics, all the application teams have to send its metrics to Grafana. Okay, so once again, we have a set of steps that we need to follow, and when we are actually following all those steps, we will face a lot of issues. Okay, from time and time again, because the platform team is going to make some changes to their platform configuration. Okay, be it uh, GitLab, be it uh, Grafana or Prometheus Mimir or any other tool that they've developed. So We need to ensure that all the application teams are able to use these tools even after changes. Okay, so that's where our job is. Okay, in terms of this type of work. Now, apart from this, if I talk about on call also, so whenever any production issue arises, it is the job of site reliability engineering team to be available to troubleshoot the production issues. Okay, so these are some of the practical examples that I'm talking about from where I work. Okay, now I want to like go through some key differences between the two. So it's going to relate to what I just spoke about, but in slightly more detail, so that if someone asks you, especially in interviews, if someone asks you, it can be any interview. Maybe you are appearing for a platform engineering interview where the interviewer wants to understand whether you understand the difference between a site reliability engineering and platform engineering, or it can be an interview for site reliability engineer where once again interviewer wants to understand you are able to understand the difference between the two roles. Okay, so I'm going to talk about in much more detail. So this is a Medium article that I've already written and it's already published, so you can go through the article also, but I'm going to give this information in a GitHub repo as well. So roles, responsibilities, career paths, and how to target each. If you are preparing for DevOps, SRE, or platform engineering roles, you might face this interview question as well. The difference between SRE and platform engineer. So on paper, I know these roles look kind of similar, but in reality, they solve different problems. Think differently during incidents, as I just spoke about, in terms of production incidents, especially, and are evaluated very differently in interviews also. Okay, and recently I was able to help one of my trainees to get a job offer for the job of platform engineering role in a reputed organization. So this is the reason I wanted to come up with this video, so that you are able to understand the difference between the two roles. So this article is going to break down the difference between the two roles, and I've already done one video recently on SRE roadmap. Okay, so what exactly you need to learn in what order in today's world to get the SRE job. So you can watch that video as well. I'm going to put the link of that video in this video's description as well. So I'm going to take that as reference, and then we are going to compare the two roles. So why this confusion exists? Because they both are infrastructure based roles. Okay, so we are still working on infrastructure only. So if I talk about SRE, they help the application teams so that they are able to use the infrastructure effectively, and to build the infrastructure we need the platform team. So both are infrastructure related roles. They both use Kubernetes, cloud, CI/CD, infrastructure as code, Terraform, or any other ISC tool. Okay, so these things are kind of similar. They sit close to development teams, so whatever platforms they are developing, they are configuring, it is for the application teams. Same thing happens with the SRE as well. Okay, so whatever tools they have developed, it is the job of SRE to make sure application teams are able to use it effectively. So we both care about reliability and automation as well. Okay, but the intent behind their work is very different. Okay, so like if I just take a very random example, so the one who has built the road on which you drive your car is being done by platform engineer. SREs make sure traffic never stops on that road. So you can say that the traffic police on the road, which is managing all the traffic, is being managed by the SREs. Okay, so site reliability engineering, an engineer responsible for keeping production system reliable, observable, and recoverable during failures. This is the job of site reliability engineers. The job of platform engineer is an engineer responsible for building and maintaining internal platforms that make developers faster, safer, and more consistent. Okay, I think it is quite clear in the definitions as well. So if you remember nothing else, then you can just tell this difference in the interview also, that this is the main difference between the two roles. So core focus, if I talk about, okay, for SRE, it is production reliability. So we work on production incidents. We are the people who are on call, who needs to sometimes wake up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the night, troubleshooting a failed pod. Okay, so That's the job of an SRE. So incident response, root cause analysis, then the core of SRE, which is monitoring, alerting, and observability. So all this is part of SRE. Then performance bottlenecks. So we have to continually see what all things are there which we can improve to improve the application performance. Capacity planning, then working with error budgets, your service level objectives. Okay, all this is part of SRE. Failure scenarios and recovery. Okay, so SREs live closest to the production outages. If I talk about platform engineering focus roles, internal developer teams, sorry, developer platforms. So they develop the platform for the team to use. CI/CD tooling, Kubernetes clusters as a product. Okay, here also we have the same thing. We have a Kubernetes platform tooling where we have deployed EKS clusters. So there's a type of a template that these platform engineers have developed, which we all are using for our applications to deploy. Okay, so that's how the role is. Then golden path for uh, deployment. So they have to develop this path basically for the deployments, which the application teams can follow, and SRE can support application teams to follow the path. Infrastructure abstractions, self-service tooling, standardization across teams. Okay, so this is the job of a platform engineer to ensure that we have a standardized tool that is used for all the applications across teams. So platform engineers, we can say they live closest to the developer experience because they develop the platform. They build the platform. Okay. So if I talk about day-to-day work, a typical SRE day, you are going to investigate latency spikes, okay, or it can be Kubernetes issues as well, or some CI/CD pipeline issues, some Terraform module issues, okay. So these are the things that SRE works on day-to-day basis. Okay, as I mentioned, debugging pod restarts or memory leaks. You need to analyze a lot of logs. Depends on which platform you're using. For example, where I'm working for log aggregation, we're using a Grafana Loki tool. So this tool once again has been built by the platform team, but we are using it to troubleshoot issues that appear for all the applications. And for metrics, we're using Prometheus Mimir as the data source. We visualize everything on Grafana. So the platform is built by them and we are using it for applications. Improving alert quality. So alerting also, whenever any application team needs any assistance, they raise a Jira ticket to us to create the alert. Okay, it can be a default alert or it can be a custom alert. Okay, so custom alerting actually requires some coding as well, but we need to see uh, what solution we have, and then we need to just coordinate with the application team to get this done. Then participate in on-call rotation, as I mentioned. SRE in SRE role, you need to be on call. Okay, and yeah, writing postmortem. So if something goes wrong, some incident is reported, especially high priority incidents, then you are able to resolve it. You are able to recover the issue. After that, you need to sit for root cause analysis to see what all we can improve so that it doesn't happen again in the future. Then tuning systems before they break. So it is again like a proactive approach to continually improve the existing systems. So we can recommend changes to the platform team as well. Okay, they are the ones who have developed it, and they're also looking at it. But if we think that the platform is not healthy or it's not efficient enough, so then we can recommend changes to the platform team as well. So you are constantly asking what will fail next and how do we catch it earlier. Okay, so this is the main these are some of the main roles on a high level of an SRE. Now, if I talk about platform engineering, improve the CI/CD pipeline templates. As I mentioned, we are using CI/CD pipeline templates for our GitLab pipeline as well. So those pipelines have to be continually improved for efficiency, for using the latest technologies, tools, the methods that are there. So all that is part of platform engineering team. Building internal tooling. So if you see the pipeline again, there are multiple things. Okay, we have scan, we use this Trevi tool as well. uh, we use EKS clusters as our deployment platform basically, and we do it via uh, Argo CD. So all these different tools have been built by the platform team. Okay, so yeah, so they are the one who are doing all the internal tooling work basically. Then designing reusable Terraform modules. Okay, so once again, this work, I mean, actually can be done by the SREs as well, but they design the Terraform module. Okay, we use it, and sometimes we recommend changes to it as well. Okay, so yeah, then managing Kubernetes upgrades. So once again, it's part of platform engineering, but in some companies this can be done by SREs as well. Okay, so as I mentioned, both are infrastructure roles, and a few responsibilities will be here and there. But yeah, but in general, if I talk about, this is the job of a platform engineer. Improving deployment workflows. Okay, once again, this is the workflow that we are using currently, but it may not be the best workflow in the future, because I mean, in the world of AI, there are so many changes that happen at a very rapid rate. So the team has to be up to date with everything, and they need to see what all improvement they can make in the existing pipeline workflow to make it better, make it more efficient. And also, sometimes I have seen that some pipelines takes a lot of time. Okay, so if we have to deploy a small change, it can take up to 10-15 minutes. So I think right now we are I mean, working on it. We want to reduce this deployment pipeline time to somewhere around 7 to 8 minutes. So we are working on it. Along with that, the platform team is also looking at it, how they can reduce some of the steps, or they can make it faster. So yeah, so these are like some of the improvements that we can work on. Okay, as platform engineer. But yes, we, I mean, coordinate with platform engineer teams a lot. Okay, if you have any doubts related to any of their build tools, then we have to reach back to them to understand that. Okay, so if I talk about as the platform engineers, they think about this: how can developers ship faster with fewer mistakes? Skill overlap versus skill depth. This is where most candidates uh, misunderstand the difference. Shared skills. Okay, so we both need Linux fundamentals, networking basics. We need to have understanding of at least one cloud: AWS, GCP, or Azure. We need to understand Docker and Kubernetes, like, I mean, container and Kubernetes, basically container orchestration, Git and CI/CD, Terraform or ISC security basics. So all these skills are common to both the roles, but it is just that in what way the team is using. Okay, so I mean, platform engineers use it differently as compared to site reliability engineers. But interviews do not test these at the same depth, as I mentioned, so it's going to be slightly different. SRE skill depth, where you must go deeper, that you should understand Linux internals and troubleshooting, kernel level performance issues, system bottlenecks, logs, metrics, and alerts are the core. So you can use tools like Prometheus, Grafana, logging stacks, or you can use you can use Grafana Loki as well as the log aggregation tool. As I mentioned, we are using that. Then Kubernetes failure modes. We need to see all the at least we should understand the known Kubernetes issues, like a crash loop back off, image pull back off, a pod not starting or in pending status. All these things are kind of the core skills of an SRE that one should know. Incident responses, SLA, SLI, SLO designing and maintaining them. All this is part of SRE. Postmortem culture, so that the same issue that has already appeared, it doesn't appear again in the future. So it's again the job of SRE. In interviews, SREs are tested with questions like this: why is CPU low but latency is high? Why are pods restarting only under load? How would you design alert uh, for this system? What does this error budget tell you? So these are some of the questions that you can expect in an SRE interview. So platform engineer skill depth, where you must go deeper. A platform engineer is expected to be exceptionally strong in CI/CD system design, Kubernetes as a platform. As I mentioned, we are also using Kubernetes as a platform here, developed by the platform team. GitOps workflows, infrastructure abstractions, developer tooling, Terraform module design, secure by default pipelines. They take care of the security as well. So we have a separate security team as well, but the development work is being done by the platform team, but overall security is being taken care by the separate security team. Multi environment promotion. So if you again go back to the pipeline, you can see that we first deploy to dev, right? But after we have the version coming up from dev, we need to promote it to QA and then to prod. Okay, so that work, how to get this done, how to like make this configuration work is again the job of the platform team. Then internal platform ownership is again is part of platform engineering. So in interviews, the platform engineers are tested with questions like how would you design a deployment a platform for 100 teams? How do you standardize CI/CD without blocking teams? How do you manage Kubernetes upgrades safely? How do you reduce developer onboarding time? As I mentioned, this is one of the things that we are currently working on, okay, with the platform team to reduce the deployment time, which is slightly higher for some of the applications. So ownership model, who owns what? This difference is subtle but critical. So SRE owns the production uptime, incident response, reliability metrics, alert quality, post-incident learning. SREs are measured by what did not go down. Then if I talk about platform engineering, they own platform stability, developer productivity, adoption of internal tools, deployment consistency, platform scalability. So platform engineers are measured by how smoothly teams build and deploy. On-call responsibilities, this is often a deciding factor for candidates. So SRE on-call, almost always part of the role, as I mentioned. SREs are the on-call people for high priority incidents. Okay, the pager alerts for production incidents. I've already done one video, and I have a Medium article as well where I'm talking about how to configure alerts for high priority incidents in Grafana, and how it integrates with a webhook in X Matters tool. So X Matters again is a tool like PagerDuty where you can maintain an on-call roster for a certain team. It can be SRE or it can be some other team as well. So you can create an on-call roster, and you can trigger alerts from Grafana automatically to that tool, and the tool itself is going to call the on-call person. So again, that's the job of SRE. Okay, so yeah, rotations can be intense. So SRE on call. So if you have like 5 people, so those 5 people in SRE team, they will have on call rotation. Okay, high responsibility during outages. A platform engineer on call are often lighter, so they don't generally stay on call. But for platform issues, sometimes you need on call as well. So focus on platform issues. Less frequent customer impacting incidents depends heavily on the company. If you enjoy firefighting and deep debugging, SRE fits better. If you prefer building systems that prevent firefighting, platform engineering fits better. Career growth and seniority. Senior SREs influence the reliability strategy, design SLO frameworks, lead incident reviews, improve system resilience, mentor teams on operational excellence. Senior platform engineers shape internal platform vision, influence engineering velocity, design large-scale abstractions, own critical developer workflows, act as internal product owners. Both are senior, but their impact is felt differently. Okay, so then when I've already covered this SRE roadmap, so I'm not going to repeat this. Okay, but I'm going to talk about how to target platform engineer roles. Okay, so I'm not going to repeat this because there's one video where I've spoken about SRE roadmap in much more detail. So please go through that. Have any doubts, have any questions, please reach out to me in the comment section. So I will talk about how to target platform engineer roles. Okay, so as I mentioned, these focus more on CI/CD platform design, GitOps and Argo CD, Terraform modules specifically, Kubernetes platform designing, developer experience improvements, and automation at scale. So your resume should show platforms that you have built, tooling you owned, adoption metrics, reduced deployment times, improved developer workflows. And if I ask this question that can you switch between these roles? Yes, many engineers do. In fact, strong engineers often move from SRE to platform engineering when they want fewer on-call hours, from platform engineering to SRE when they want a deeper system ownership. The fundamentals overlap, the mindset changes. So these are some of the differences between the platform engineering role and site reliability engineer. Okay, so if you still have any doubts, please reach out to me. uh, yeah, I'm going to answer all the queries. Okay, and before I go, I just want to mention that I have a lot of playlists for SRE interview question and answers. I have some DevOps and SRE based projects as well, where I've deployed EKS clusters using Terraform. I have some AWS based projects as well. Okay, so do check that out as well. Okay, I'm going to put the link of all these different playlists in the description of this video. All right, guys, that's all I wanted to cover. I hope this session was useful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. Please share this video with others, and please do subscribe to my channel.